Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. We've got our Saturday recap to do. We got 4 games to get to. All 4 of them had, well, some had some overtime. Some scored a touchdown. So we got it. We got everything and anything in between. So let's go take a look at all of them as we just recap Saturday. Alrighty, we're going to kick things off with Iowa and Orlando. We're going to talk about it, man. We're going to talk all about it, at least for one team here. We got a lot of questions. But start things off, Puka Williams, like a bullet to start the game. 28-yard rush down to the 1-yard line. Paxton De Laurent rushes for the opening score. Too easy for Orlando. Botched extra point, though. 6-0 Pirates. Iowa can't do anything on their opening drive. It's a 4th and 7. Pass goes incomplete, but a late flag for defensive pass interference will give Iowa new downs. Low snap. Dante Avila Santos is drilled by Mike Mason for a loss. Another three and out for Iowa. Jonah Edwards back on the team. His field goal attempt is blocked. Pirates will take over at the 9. Puka refuses to go down. Another huge gain on a simple handoff down to the Iowa 12. Redding, tossed to the left side. He loses the ball. I thought he hit the wall, but nope, that's out. Iowa recovers in the end zone. Iowa just, they look so out of sync on this. 4th down, again, Edwards, glorified punt, field goal attempt, no good, flips the field. Doesn't matter. 1 play, 1 touchdown. Paxton De Laurent to the left. Isaiah McCoy open at the 2, reaches across. He scores another blocked extra point here. It makes it 12-0. Well, not another one, but botched extra point, blocked field goals. We're just a lot of kicking woes early on here. 3rd down rush for Iowa picks up a first for them, and we begin the second quarter. Hector Johnson off the edge. He hits Avila Santos for a sack. Santos, deep shot to the end zone. Corian Ballard, he picks it off in double coverage. And then for Orlando's next drive, 2 rushes has them moving here. 3rd down, Redding, wide open in the end zone. De Laurent finds them. Touchdown Pirates. It is 19-0. DeMonte Martin and David Elder are back-to-back rushing for a first down. Iowa to the Pirates' side of the field. Barnstormers rush for a 1st and goal. Over the head snap, just more issues for the Barnstormers. Elder comes up with it, but he has to eat all of this lost yardage. You cannot script this kind of stuff here. Bad to worse right now for the Barnstormers. 3rd and goal on their own side of the field. Leon O'Neal jumps the route. He has a pick. He returns it to the Iowa 6. And then Iowa has De Laurent down for a sack, so something good for him here, I guess. Left side end zone pass. That sack doesn't matter. Thomas Owens out route for the touchdown. 26-0 in favor of Orlando. Avila Santos to Martin for the first down as we head to the 1-minute warning in the first half. And then defensive pass interference again on Orlando. Iowa getting a new set of downs and some yards. 1st and goal setting them up. Elder rushes to the 1 and then stretch run to the left. Elder has enough room to take it in for the score. 26-7 Iowa on the scoreboard after the 1-minute warning. 2 T.O. Redding receptions. Orlando wanting to tack on another touchdown before the half. Williams refuses to go down. Iowa tries to tackle high. He breaks it, spins outside, takes it to the house. It is 33-7. And then I don't know what Iowa's doing on this drive. 3 seconds left in the half. Santos throws short for some yards, and that's it. We go to halftime, 33-7. Iowa does get the ball to the second half. Santos overthrows his target. DJ Daniel skies for the interception. James Blackman now into the game at quarterback after that interception for the new Pirates quarterback. 1 play, 1 touchdown is all it takes too. Blackman takes off to the left side, just glides on his way to the end zone. And this just isn't a game at this point. This just feels like a scrimmage. It's 40-7 Orlando. Elder with a nice run. He might have lost the ball. Ravenel, right place, right time to recover it for the Barnstormers. Santos on the end zone, or to the end zone once more. Corian Ballard with an amazing pass breakup. Avila Santos escapes pressure, scrambles to the left, goes out of bounds of the Orlando 11 with a 4th down upcoming. Miscommunication on an end zone pass. It's a turnover on downs with an incompletion. Pirates will take over. Inside route for Puka Williams, inside route for Puka Williams. Blackman fires to him, goes up the sideline, and is he pushed out? No. He takes it all the way home. It is a touchdown, Orlando, 47-7. Sorry about that. My notes were jumbled all together. Elder shakes a tackle. He gains a couple. If there's a player Iowa needs to keep after this season, it is David Elder. Low snap, Deontay Anderson dives for the ball, and it's a fumble that Orlando's defensive lineman just dives and says, I'll take that. So pretty easy. First down rush for Puka Williams. Orlando won in another touchdown. He rushes in for another, but Iowa is challenging a false start. Barnstormers will win that challenge. It doesn't matter, though. Third down rush for James Blackman as he leaps over the goal line. There's your touchdown. Stephen Thomas is hurt for Iowa, and the lack of depth will start to come into play a little bit. Iowa challenges another false start and wins it again, so that touchdown, that's gone again. Fourth and goal now for Orlando. Blackman throws to the end zone. Iowa picks him off. It's Richie Coffey with the interception. A lone bright spot and just a horrible day for the Barnstormers. Iowa playing for pride right now. They're moving the ball well on the ground here, getting it out to midfield, but they come up short and face a 4th and 1. Najee Bryant-Lele gains the first, but an Iowa penalty will wipe it away. Avila Santos throws to Simmons for a first down. It keeps the drive alive. Santos now tackled awkwardly. He comes out, and Kobe Gadsden has to come in. So your backup quarterback is in for both sides right now. Third and long pass goes to the original line of scrimmage. Ravenel brings in a first down reception, 1st and goal for Iowa. And then another low snap. Gadsden can't get it. Orlando again falls on another fumble. Just, wow. Long rush for Williams off the left side, or down the left sideline, Pirates getting a little sloppy. They're getting some penalties in this one here late. 4th and 10 for Orlando, just content with kind of killing some time here. Mata comes on for a field goal. The kick is good. It is 50-7 Orlando. And then after that, Iowa just runs the ball. They don't use their timeouts. Orlando blasts the Barnstormers 50-7 as this one ends. All right, taking a look at the score, at the stats. Oh my God, this was a blowout. This, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the lowest amount of points scored this season by any team. With 7. Because we gotten close. We gotten like an 11 and a 12 or stuff like that from New Mexico, and I know Iowa's teetered on that at some points too, but not as bad as this. And you have to. We'll ask the question later on. What do we do with Iowa? But let's talk about Orlando really quick. What a performance for them. They've been kind of wishy-washy in the last couple of weeks, and to have a game like this can kind of hopefully boost some confidence, breed some confidence, and like, hey, everything's all right. The IFL Cup didn't necessarily go our way. We still beat New Mexico, but so have you. But still, 50-7, they put it on Iowa. And to say, Iowa, they moved the ball. They just couldn't finish drives, and the turnovers and everything like that just came to bite them in the butt, man. Taking a look at the game leaders on the left side here, Dante Avila Santos, 7 of 18 for 66 yards, 3 interceptions. That's not going to cut it, man. And with Clifton McDowell refusing to report and everything along those lines, you kind of wonder what direction is this team going in. And at one point we were wondering, hey, this team wants to be a running team, and they kind of proved it a little bit in this game, but you still need to be able to pass the ball in this league or in any football league, and it's just not getting the job done. So, and that's not to knock Avila Santos. He's kind of put in a poopy situation, but at the same time, man, only 66 yards on 7 completions. That's just not going to be good. Normally, like, well, I'm guessing check downs and screen passes and throws to the flats, like, they will chuck it deep every so often, but they're trying to be safe with the throwing. It's not working either way. David Elder, your leading rusher, 17 carries, 63 yards rushing, and 1 rushing touchdown. The only touchdown of the evening for Iowa. Again, like I said in the recap, whatever it takes for this man to stay on this team, that can be the guy that you build around for next year. You're not technically eliminated from the playoffs, but let's be real here, you kind of are. But if you can say, hey, Elder is the guy going forward at the running back spot, he's going to be the guy. Can we get a quarterback around him, kind of start building for that future, and kind of say, hey, here he goes for the rest of the season? It remains to be seen. DeMonte Martin, 3 catches, 30 yards, no touchdowns. Again, from what started in the beginning of the season, completely has petered off when it comes to the wide receivers. Martin, McKinney, Ravenel, what looked kind of promising has kind of just turned into, well, if the quarterback can't get them the yards, if he can't throw it to him, what are we doing? So I do kind of feel bad for that wide receiving core. It started to look a little promising, and then they converted to a complete, we're going to run the ball, and now we just don't know what this offense is. Do they want to run? Do they want to throw? What are we doing? For the Orlando side, Paxton De Laurent, 8 for 8, 84 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. They didn't necessarily need to throw the ball too much. They threw it a little bit, but for all intents and purposes, this game was over from pretty much the second quarter, man. So De Laurent, I don't think he played the entire second half. I think James Blackman came in at the start of the third quarter, if I'm not mistaken. So he did throw the ball pretty well as well. And yeah, a good passing day all around when it came to that. Puka Williams, 9 carries for 90 yards. He was the crux of the offense too in that sense, as he was your leading receiver too. 5 catches, 56 yards, and 2 receiving touchdowns. I don't know if that's enough to make him Offensive Player of the Week, but when you consider that he had 146 all-purpose yards offensively, and whatever he potentially had, 2 kickoffs, if that, from what Iowa had, the opening kick or the second half kick, and then their touchdown kickoff. I don't know if he returned anything or whatever. I'd have to look, but either way, a pretty good day for Williams. He didn't get in through on the ground, but he got in through the air, so he still got some touchdowns regardless. Taking a look at the team stats, Iowa lived and died on third down, and they died. Now, they did convert fourth downs, so when they got into that, they did convert pretty well, but we are missing quite a bit of third downs from there. 2 for 12, you're missing about 6 more fourth downs if that is truly the stats that we have here. Orlando, same thing. They lived and died on third downs. They lived, and that fourth down conversion right there, they were able to make things work. Total yards favor the Pirates. Just, again, nothing doing for Iowa. Defense for Orlando was kind of living in the backfield, and once they started, stopping the run, or, they allowed the run, but for the most part, they stopped the pass, man. They made them one-dimensional, and they were going to gain yards regardless, but turnovers, stoppages, everything, Orlando's defense just came to play. Passing favors the Pirates, as we talked with Paxton De Laurent and James Blackman. Really accurate. They missed 2 completions the entire game, compared to under 50% passing between Avila Santos and Kobe Gatson. Rushing, again, favors Orlando, and most of that is Puka Williams. They had Paxton De Laurent run. James Blackman had a rushing touchdown. They were able to make it work, and Iowa, that's kind of what they do, but 33 rushing attempts. They only ran for 2.6 yards. That's not going to cut it. Field goals, 0 for 2 for Iowa, 1 for 1 for Orlando. It doesn't really make a difference. Penalties, that needs to get fixed, just like we say every game, every recap, every week. Turnovers, this is where it's bad, because I do think that there were 2 fumbles that were not mentioned, that I mentioned in the recap, that Orlando recovered. So I think it was 5 total turnovers, but they only, in the stats page on the Indoor Football League website, they only show the 3 interceptions as the turnovers. They only show 1 fumble recovery. That's by Curtis Ravenel. And that is the fumble that he had to recover from David Elder. So overall, there were 2 low snap fumbles that Orlando just kind of jumped on, and that's not credited here, which I think should be. So 5 total turnovers for Iowa when it came to that. So what can you do? Taking a look at our defensive stats for both sides here. For Iowa, they had 2 sacks, 1.5 for Jakari Larman, 4.5 tackles for a loss. Again, 1.5 of those by Jakari Larman. He had 3 solo tackles and 3 assisted for a total of 4.5. Iowa had 1 fumble recovery, which was what we mentioned with Curtis Ravenel, so there's that. And then 1 interception by Richie Coffey. That was the throw in the end zone. Leading tackler is Trenton McGee. He had 4 solo, 2 assisted for a total of 5. For Orlando, Leon O'Neal with 11 total, but it's 8 solo tackles, 3 assisted, so a total of 9.5. 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. Not to be outdone, Hector Johnson with half a sack and half a tackle for a loss. Jay Person with 2 sacks and 2 tackles for a loss. And the Pirates as a whole, 3 sacks, 7 tackles for a loss, 1 forced fumble, 3 interceptions, 2 pass breakups, 1 blocked kick. And I'm going to say they had 2 fumble recoveries as well, because the stats just don't show it. So overall, a very good defensive day for the Pirates, but like I mentioned in the recap, this was just a glorified scrimmage. Man, Iowa, you've got to question what do they do from here on out? Because you can only turn over the roster so much. They only had 22 players. So not much depth. Players refusing to report. I'm not saying the culture's bad or whatever. What I'm saying is we got to figure it out sooner rather than later. Because right now, a lot of questions, not just myself. So that's where we have it. Let's go take a look at our bet. We got 3 more recaps to do. This pretty much cash by the middle of the second quarter, man. All right, we got recap number 2 to do, and yeah, we got some overtime in this one. Fishers and Tulsa. Let's get into it. We begin the game already 2 minutes into it. Overnight delayed it. I don't know what is wrong with that damn website. Box score shows that Axel Perez started the game off with a deuce, so it's 2-0 in favor of Tulsa. Perez, new kicker for the Oilers, former Orlando kicker, so there you go. Davis Black, speaking of former players, San Diego Strikeforce's backup quarterback is the starter for Fishers in this game. That's interesting. Roberto lowers the shoulder. He picks up a first down. And then Davis Black to Jordan Davis, so that's going to be confusing. Jordan Davis shakes a tackle, goes down right around the first down marker, but doesn't gain it. It's 4th and inches. And then on an RPO keeper, Davis Black is stopped for a loss. Tulsa takes over on downs. Oilers work to the Fishers side of things. It's 3rd and short. TJ Edwards takes off for a first down to the Fishers 12. And then over the middle, pass to the end zone. Mike Kerrigan, he continues to be hot, man. Whether it's returning kicks, catching passes, touchdowns, whatever, it's 9-0 in favor of the Oilers. Fishers with a 3rd down again. CJ Wyndham with a catch, stays on his feet, and he moves the chains. Jordan Davis motion handoff for a first down as we venture to the second quarter. Leaking out to the flat, Roberto wide open. Davis Black has him, and Roberto cruises in for 6. 9-7, Fishers gets their first points. Caleb Ramseur has a first down catch. Oilers taking what the defense is giving them. A no-go throw is a go. It works perfectly. TJ Edwards throws into double coverage. Draminik Smith has a catch to the Fishers 4. It's one of those where you go, what are you doing? Okay, we're glad you did. Edwards quarterback rush up the middle. It's a touchdown for Tulsa, 16-7. Jordan Davis, 1 play, 1 touchdown, a one-handed catch. Fishers answers right back after that kickoff with 1 play, 16-14, right back to it. TJ Edwards' next drive, he has room to run, and he will. First down as Tulsa wants a response of their own. Cornelius Montgomery for Fishers has a hit with a roughing the passer. Auto first down for Tulsa, moves the chains. Edwards has a wide open Draminik Smith in the end zone, and there's your Tulsa response. Touchdown Oilers 22-14 with a missed extra point. Davis Black rolls right. Trey Harvey picks him off coming out of the 1-minute warning, so another response, momentum swinging to the Tulsa side. Ramseur rumbles his way into the end zone, and the Oilers extend their lead 29-14. Josiah King with a return out to midfield, and he does take a pretty big hit on that kick return. Felix Harper in at quarterback for Fisher, so that experiment didn't last long. He delivers to CJ Wyndham for a gain of 7. Isaiah Coulter catch inside the 10, 1st and goal freight, and the drive is moving. Fisher is trying to run the clock and be the last one to score here before the half. They kind of do it. They'll score. Isaiah Coulter hauls in a touchdown pass with 14 seconds to go. It's 29-21. Fisher's back within a possession. Edwards is going to throw deep. It's tipped. It's picked by Ja'Cory Benjamin, and that pretty much does it for the end of the first half. It's 29-21, as we mentioned. Tulsa taking that lead into halftime. Spencer Tears can't come up with a pass, might have taken a knee to the helmet. He is down on the play. So coming out of the second half, Tulsa got the ball. Another double coverage catch for Draminik Smith and a first down. Caleb Ramseur inside the red zone with a good run. And then TJ Edwards has an open Draminik Smith, but he can't hang on. Jaden Rowe off the deflection. He picks it off. So with a chance to tie things back up with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, Fishers takes over. Stephen Parker, defensive lineman for Tulsa, forces a 4th and 7 deep in Fisher's territory. Harper's pass is complete. Isaiah Coulter to midfield and a first down. Big Dom Roberto rush up the middle for a first down and more. I mean, anytime he just gets a nice run up the middle, he's done it so many times this year. It's a first down and more to the Tulsa 11. Harper, untouched right side, he goes in for the score. Everyone bit on the RPO the other direction. Although they're not chasing points here, 29-28, we have a 1-point lead for the Oilers. Bad snap. Edwards heaves it into double coverage, just throwing it whenever he can into double coverage. He lives on the edge, though. This time it falls incomplete. 3rd and 5, upcoming quarterback draw. Edwards has a first down to keep the drive alive. Darius Long has Edwards for a sack, though. Another 3rd down after another couple of plays for Tulsa. 4th down, though. Blitz comes. Smith, touch pass reception for a first, but a flag will negate it. Axel Perez comes on for a field goal attempt. It goes wide left. Fishers has a chance to take the lead here. Roberto, head of steam to midfield for a gain of 17 as Fishers is moving, and we head to the 4th quarter. 2 rushes for Felix Harper. Flag on Fishers, though. He'll get called, or not he, but the offensive line will get called for holding. And then another flag. Roberto, catch, has some yards. 3rd down to Coulter, can't get the line to gain. 4th down for the Freight. Stephen Parker has a turnover on downs, but a penalty for illegal defense. It's a first down for the Freight. Roberto, more big boy runs. He gets inside the Tulsa 5. Harper dives into the end zone, and Fishers, they take their first lead of the night, 35-29. And then Callum Sutherland, you know he's good for it. He hits a deuce, take a drink, 37-29. Fishers increases their lead to 8. Edwards scrambles, goes ahead, but a holding will wipe that away. 3rd down pass goes into the stands. Fishers forces a 3-and-out. Axel Perez out for a field goal. That goes into the stands. Freight will take over with a chance to maybe end this. Couple Roberto runs. Harper has a rush. Fisher's wanting to waste as much time as they can. Wyndham in the middle of the field for a 13-yard first down. We are under 2 minutes to go. Felix Harper overthrows Coulter. Why are you throwing? But that could have been the dagger had they completed it. Another pass. Why are you throwing? 4th down. Sutherland out for a field goal. And he misses. Tulsa, they're still alive here. Edwards to Harrington at midfield. We hit the 1-minute warning. Quarterback draw. Edwards all the way inside the 5. Only took 2 plays. Tulsa's knocking on the door. Motion handoff. Caleb Rams into the end zone. We are a 2-point try away from a tie game. Trick play 2-point conversion. Harrington throws back to Edwards. Open left side. He has it. We are tied, but offensive pass interference is called. We're going to have to redo it, and then they're pushed back even further. Edwards pass to the goal line. Smith corrals it. He breaks the plane. We are tied. Oh my God, we are tied. They're going to challenge this, though. 33 seconds. Fishers controls their game. The challenge goes not Fishers' way. The 2-point conversion stands. We are tied. Harper's going to load up. Alfonso Taylor nearly has an interception on the next drive. CJ Wyndham with a moderate gain. Jordan Davis has a first down catch. Harper, quarterback rush, gets out of bounds with 4 seconds to go. Sutherland out for a game-winning field goal. The snap is out. Down. Kick. Up. No good. We're headed to overtime. Tulsa wins the toss and elects defense. We start with Fishers on offense. 2 Roberto rushes for a minimal gain. Harper tucks and runs to the Tulsa 6. Roberto caps the drive. Right side rush. He gains the edge for the score. Pressure is on Tulsa now 44-37. Fishers takes the lead. Edwards has time to throw, but he throws incomplete. 3rd down for Tulsa. Edwards has time. He rolls right. Wide open. Right side of the end zone. It is Mike Kerrigan. Again, stay hot, buddy. That is a Tulsa touchdown. That offense is staying out there. They're going for 2 and the victory. The snap is a reverse. It works to perfection. Run to the right side. Reverses to the left. Mike Kerrigan gets the octopus. That's when you score the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And Tulsa takes the victory in overtime, 45-44. Tulsa, they do it. All right, let's take a look at the stats and everything that's in front of us. Baby, we had one hell of a game here, 45-44 in favor of the Tulsa Oilers. And to be brutally honest with you, a nice little back-and-forth affair, but Tulsa led for most of the game until roughly the 4th quarter when Fishers decided we're going to mount a little bit of a comeback ourselves. They do take the lead, have a chance multiple times to kind of have the dagger, but as we mentioned, you're throwing it, man. I know they wanted the dagger to go up those 2 scores and really put pressure on Tulsa, but yeah, at the end of it, at one point you were under 2 minutes to go and you're throwing it. So maybe some calls to bite them in the butt. Who knows? Overall, though, nice little back and forth game. Taking a look at our game leaders on both sides. TJ Edwards, 14 of 25, 140 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It's not the best. I mean, it's over 50% passing, but as inaccurate as he was, the offense did sputter a little bit, but they did make up for it, and you'll see it over there on the team stats. They were 6 for 8 on 3rd downs. If you believe those, then cool, but again, they were able to move the ball. They did get bailed out by some penalties and stuff like that too, but for all intents and purposes, you're going to have incompletions unless you're Paxton De Laurent, who goes 8 for 8, but at the same time, it's not the best day that Edwards has had, and I know I say that quite a few times that throughout the season, but there are definitely some passes that he was throwing into double coverage that were completed. And then there were some things that, he threw some interceptions. He threw into double coverage and it was broken up and things along those lines. So overall, it's not the best. It's not the worst. He got the job done. I mean, the 3 touchdowns, one was pretty much the game winner in overtime. So what can you do? He is your leading rusher, 10 carries, 50 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Moderate day at the office when it came to running the ball. A lot better than what they've done throughout the season. Wish it could have been better overall rushing-wise. We'll talk about that in a second. Jermaine Smith continues to do what he does, and I mean it's not light the world on fire. 9 catches, 73 yards, 1 touchdown. He's definitely had better performances individually throughout the season, but overall it got the job done. You knew who Edwards was throwing to most of the game. He's responsible for practically half the yards, more than half of the receptions. He was the go-to guy for Tulsa in this one when it came to passing. Felix Harper, 11 of 15, 96 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Again, he didn't start the game, but he tried to finish it. And once he got into that game, I don't know what the issue was, if he was hurt, or I think the broadcast said that Davis Black was scheduled to be the starter. So I don't know if there's a rift between coach and quarterback. I'm not speculating or anything, but like, you wonder, why is Harper not starting? Is he hurt? Is there something going on? I'm not going to lead into anything. Just, it's kind of crazy how the guy who started the entire season and suddenly isn't the starter. So either way, you got the job done. Typical Fisher stat line, for all things considered there. Dominic Roberto, 21 carries, 99 yards. That dude just, I think I've said it in one of the previous previews. I know the broadcast, I know the team at one point said that Josiah King is the starter. You got to reevaluate that, man. Dominic Roberto runs so well and has proven it this season. He is your leading rusher. He might be the leading rusher in the Indoor Football League, if I'm not mistaken. If not, he's top 5, maybe top 3. So keep feeding him the rock, because he will break off some big runs. Case in point here, almost 100 yards rushing. Isaiah Coulter, your leading receiver, 6 catches, 53 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. I do think that he was tied. He was tied with Jordan Davis for 3 catches, 53 yards, and a touchdown. So a couple more catches, he gets to be put on the graphic. Kudos to you for having 3 more catches than Jordan Davis. But overall, Fisher was able to distribute the ball pretty evenly to their wide receivers. Taking a look at the team stats on the right side here, 9-14 when it comes to first downs. Third downs, both teams converted pretty well. Tulsa better than Fisher's, but again, over 50% for both sides. No fourth downs for Tulsa, which is weird because it shows 2 fourth downs that they didn't get. So they're the 2 third downs that they didn't get, so those would have been fourth downs. And then 1 for 2 for Fisher's, so you're missing a couple there. Total yards, fairly even. Fisher's had to play catch up a little bit, so they probably had a little bit more yardage. And obviously Dominic Roberto running the ball and doing what he does, you're going to gain some yards with that. Passing favors Fisher's, which, okay, like I said, kind of playing from behind a little bit and had to get back into it. They did take the lead, so all intents and purposes, nothing really drastic when it comes to that. But where it is, rushing. Tulsa's been running the ball really well, so it is a little bit of a dip compared to what they've had, but at the same time, 70 on 17, that's not bad for the Oilers. That's really good still. 134 for 31, that is pretty much a typical Fisher's when it comes to that. Breaking out of that slump, it doesn't translate to a win, but they are able to get these stats. It's just a close loss in overtime. So Tulsa finally getting a break here with all these close losses, and they have a loss in overtime already this year. Had one break their way this time. No one made a field goal, so yeah. Penalties, I don't know if I trust these or not, because we've had a lot of penalties that just don't get put on these. So whether or not you believe that, fine. And then turnovers, 2 interceptions to 1 in favor of Fisher's winning the turnover battle. Yeah, that's where we have it. Taking a look at our defensive stats on the not on the screen, but on my screen. Justin Harrington, your leading tackler for the Tulsa Oilers, 5 solo tackles, 7 assisted, so a total of 8.5, and 1 tackle for a loss. Trey Harvey doing Trey Harvey things, 6 solo tackles, 3 assisted for a total of 7.5, 1 tackle for a loss, and 1 interception. Overall, the Oilers 5.5 tackles for a loss, the 1 interception, and 1 pass breakup by Alfonso Taylor. To the Fisher's side of things, Donnie Lewis Jr., 8 solo tackles and 1 assisted for 8.5 and 2 pass breakups. And Ja'Cory Benjamin, not a lot of tackles, only 4 solo tackles, 1 interception, and 1 pass breakup. So playing pretty well. I mean, your top 3 tacklers for Fisher's were your secondary players. So what does that kind of tell you when it comes to passing? They were kind of getting to the second level running and passing for those guys to be your leaders. Tulsa had 3 tackles for a loss, 2 interceptions, and 3 pass breakups. So overall, again, offense and defense both played pretty well, and it just came down to a reverse 2-point conversion that Tulsa wins it with. So that's where we have it with this. Let's go take a look at our bet, and we've got 2 more recaps to finish up with. That's right, I did it. Who do you think you are? I am. Alrighty. Recap number 3, and well, it was close for a second. San Antonio and Jacksonville, these two renewing their stuff from the NAL days. They played once last year, whatever. And the fact that they've been here for 2-3 years now, and they've only played each other twice, is kind of insane. But we start the recap with Jimmy Robinson returning the opening kickoff to midfield. 2 more rushes for Robinson. Suddenly, it is 1st and goal for Jacksonville. Another rush, Robinson to the 1-yard line. He loses the ball. Was he down? He was not. And that's a fumble for a touchback. San Antonio takes over. Fred Payton gets the start. I figured he was still hurt from last week. He was holding his knee pretty bad against Green Bay. And Yeah, but he gets the start, so one wonders what a week does. Jacksonville is going to challenge an illegal defense. They lose the challenge. San Antonio keeps the ball. Gunslingers go 3 and out. Called for a false start on 4th down. They'll still go for it. Gibbons comes up with a huge first down reception on that 4th down. Nice pitch and catch to the left side as he slides for the reception. San Antonio putting together a nice drive here. Derrick Rose with the first down catch as they march downfield. Peyton to Rose again. He's in for the score. Gunslingers break the ice first, but a missed extra point makes it 6-0. Markel Wade with a good kick return for Jacksonville, and a banked penalty has the Sharks starting on their side of the field, though. 3rd down, Cahoon to Red Douglas, wide open to the San Antonio 5 for a 1st and goal. James Cahoon, RPO keeper to the 1, caps the drive with a shark shove. Jacksonville on the board here. They missed the extra point, though. We're tied at 6. Mark Orozco is hurt. Chris Rice is kicking off for the Sharks. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Gunslingers, they set up well. So Chris Rice, like I said, depth is a huge thing. No one carries 2 kickers, I'll tell you that much. So you got to figure out who your next best one is. Glenn Gibbons is a 1st and goal catch. Peyton will sneak it himself. San Antonio responds here 13-6. Now Tyler Huddle is hurt for San Antonio. Both kickers are injured as we head to the 2nd quarter. Robinson returns inside the San Antonio 20. Jimmy Robinson picks up a 1st down after that. James Cahoon, right side throw. Jaden Stoshak is in the end zone. Touchdown, Sharks. Edwards in at quarterback. Douglas has a 2-point conversion. 14-13. Jacksonville takes the lead. Already having a game, Glenn Gibbons catch to the Jacksonville 11 and a 1st down. 3rd and 8. Peyton is pressured, lofts a pass. Rudy Silvera picks him off. He isn't down. He gets up. He takes it all the way back for a pick 6. And then a 2-point conversion rush for Edwards is good. It is 22-13 in favor of Jacksonville. Remember, they don't have a kicker. So unless Chris Rice is kicking it, they're going to go for 2 every single time here. Kickoff nearly recovered by Jacksonville, and it is. Chris Rice recovers his own kickoff. So maybe you don't need Mark Orozco after all. I'm kidding. Sharks drive stall out. 4th and 10, no kicker. They got to go for it here. Billy Bowen's end zone. He can't hang on. San Antonio takes over on downs. 3rd and 7 pass to who else? Glenn Gibbons for San Antonio is a 1st down grab. Zach Patterson with a catch inside the 5, and he takes it. 1st and goal, Gunslingers. Peyton can't find anyone open, so he does it himself. Touchdown as San Antonio 22-20. The lead down to 2. Nothing doing in the 9 seconds of the first half as we head to the break. Jacksonville takes that 22-20 lead into the half. San Antonio begins at midfield for the second half. 2 plays for Patterson make it a 1st down. Peyton throws to the goal line. John Huggins takes that one away. It's another interception for the Sharks. Robinson is so good here with the rush. 2 rushes, changes direction. He picks up a 1st down. 3rd down, check down. Billy Bowens hauls in a chain mover. Long sustained drive for the Sharks here. They make it 1st and goal. Pushed back via penalty. Doesn't matter. 3rd and goal. Stoshak against the wall brings in another score. 2-point try good yet again. 30-20 in favor of the Sharks. Rose wide open, and it's off his fingertips. Goes incomplete. 3rd down for San Antonio. Mr. Reliable, though, Glenn Gibbons. He bails him out. 1st down catch, although a holding will say, nah, not this time. 4th and short, Gunslingers. Peyton rolls away from pressure, takes off. He gets the 1st down and more on his legs. Starting with the 4th quarter, 3rd down, Peyton over the middle. It's picked off once again. Clay Fields, that's the 3rd pick for Jacksonville tonight. He has the honors of it. Motion RPO, Robinson goes in for another score, another 2-point conversion, and suddenly it's 38-20. Sharks extend their lead. Joaquin Collazo into the game at quarterback. He is promptly sacked by Isaiah Major. Welcome to the game. Collazo fumbles trying to throw. Offensive lineman David Connor falls on it in the end zone. That's a safety. 40-20. Sharks tack on 2 points, and they'll get the ball back. Edwards takes over at quarterback for Jacksonville. Moving downfield, Sharks will challenge an illegal defense for a 1st down, and they win it. 3rd and short later on. Edwards keeps for a 1st, content with keeping the ball on the ground and using some clock here. Until they throw it. So as I'm typing that up, he throws it. Edwards to Douglas at the goal line. He reaches across. That is a touchdown for the Sharks. 2-point try, though. No good this time. 46-20. It's just been all Jacksonville in the second half. Oh, my. So, drive for San Antonio. Collazo fumbles again, trying to throw. Devontae Davis has a scoop and score. Just, you can't write this stuff, man. It's a touchdown for Jacksonville. 2-point try is good this time. It is 54-20 for the Sharks. Gunslingers to the Jacksonville 5. They get a 1st and goal. Chris Rice taking a break from kicking duties to sack Joaquin Collazo at the 1-minute warning. San Antonio backed up to midfield with a 3rd and goal, and they're running it. Okay. 4th and goal upcoming. Pass goes incomplete. Sharks, they run out the clock. And Jacksonville shuts out the San Antonio Gunslingers in the entire second half, and they take this one, our final 54-20. All right, so taking a look at the stats in front of us here, you see those 2 goose eggs in the 3rd and 4th quarter for San Antonio. Jacksonville just pounced all over them. And I do this a lot. I got to do it with this one just like I do with all the others. If Jacksonville just played the 4th quarter, they win the game. If they didn't score at all for the first 3 quarters, doesn't matter. They'd win 24-20. All things being the same, obviously. So, yeah, just not a good day for San Antonio. They started good. They got within 2 points. They were leading at multiple points throughout this game. They started the scoring. They were up 13-6, and then it all just kind of went backwards on them. And you start to wonder what's going on in San Antonio, man, because this should have been a season full of promise, and it is not turning out that way. So, taking a look at the game leaders on the left side here, Fred Payton, 18 of 26, 146 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. There's like a little running joke that I've seen online about how like San Antonio goes well until Fred Payton starts throwing some interceptions and then all hell breaks loose. I feel like this is what started to happen, man, and it's no different. I mean, he was pretty accurate. He missed only 8 attempts, Just couldn't find the end zone after that touchdown. And he couldn't get anything really going. You take a look at the rushing stats too, man, and this is the 2nd straight game that this team has been held to negative rushing yards, and most of it, yes, is accrued by the bad fumble snaps and things along like that, but if it all adds up, and I think this is the 2nd straight week that they've had negative 12 rushing yards on the dot. Could be mistaken, but either way, he is your leading rusher, 19 yards on 4 carries, 2 touchdowns. But again, most of that taken away on the fumble recoveries by, I'm blanking on his name for Jacksonville. My God, number 44, Devontae Davis. My God. And then, obviously, Joaquin Collazo having David Conner fall on it in the end zone for the safety. I was just, what are we doing? And I know it all adds up, but yeah. Glenn Gibbons playing his heart out, man. 8 catches, 72 yards. I mean, easily the go-to guy for Fred Payton. Mr. Reliable. We talked about this in previews prior, like Deion Cook kind of being the diamond in the rough that we have found being developed. Glenn Gibbons is that diamond that's already been shining. What do you do with his offense? Because if it's not Gibbons, I don't know what other bright spot you have right now on this offense. It was Deion Cook for a second, but that's fallen by the wayside too. You've got to start asking questions of what's going on with San Antonio. For the Jacksonville side, 6 of 12 for James Cahoon, 59 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Not the best day passing. I'll be honest. I mean, you wish you could have had more. They did well on the ground game. They did well with San Antonio beating themselves and putting Jacksonville in good positions. But overall, James Cahoon, not the best day passing. And it's one of those things where it's like San Antonio can't capitalize on Jacksonville not having the best day passing. What can you do? So I wouldn't say Jacksonville escaped. They didn't escape by any means. They did what they had to do, man. They rushed the ball. They put it in the air when they needed to. They didn't throw the ball too often. But still, only 50% completion percentage. 2 touchdowns, only 59 yards. I mean, it'll play, but yeah. Jimmy Robinson, probably the player of the game, dare I say. 15 carries, 68 yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. The dude did really, really well with that. He only had 1 catch, though, if I'm not mistaken. So, overall, the offense, what can you do? I don't know. It's weird to me. They were able to move the ball, but it just seems like sometimes they were stuck in neutral. Red Douglas, 2 catches, 36 yards, and 1 touchdown. So, again, couple of, a third of the completions, and over half of the receiving yards with the one of the 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, like I said, passing game leaves a little bit to be desired in this one, but it's not all based on just one game. Team stats for both teams here on the right side. Jacksonville, 5 for 6 on 3rd downs. That's kind of their bread and butter in this one. They able to move the chains, able to keep drives alive. Yes, they missed the 1 4th down, but with no kicker, still being able to do that and go out and make that with all the 2-point conversions and everything with their touchdowns. They were able to make things work. San Antonio, not so much. 3 for 8. They did convert some 4th downs, but playing behind for the entire second half, a little bit of the first half, they did have to sling it around, and they just didn't, man. And the stats will tell one story. We'll talk about it in a sense. passing obviously is going to favor San Antonio. They got to pass it. They don't have a running back on the roster. They use Zach Patterson as your quasi running back, wide receiver hybrid kind of thing. So they were going to be passing it. They threw 3 interceptions. Jacksonville, again, they didn't necessarily need to pass. They were having San Antonio kind of beat themselves a little bit. But, again, 72 yards on 7 of 13. What can you do? Rushing, minus 12 on 14 attempts. Now, again, a lot of that's going to be on Joaquin Collazo and the fumbles and stuff that he accrued. Glenn Gibbons, I think, had a rush for a loss. There was also a sack. I know Collazo got sacked by Isaiah Major. So, it all kind of adds up here. For Jacksonville, they're 99 rushing yards. Jimmy Robinson, accumulated most of that. Sammy Edwards had some rushes. So, not a bad day by any means for the Sharks. Field goals, no one attempted a field goal in this one, surprisingly. Penalties, I can believe both of those. I don't necessarily know if I do because it's always wrong, but I can believe it. And then here's another factor, 4 total turnovers for San Antonio, none for Jacksonville. So playing a clean game, mistake-free when it comes to that. San Antonio, again, beating themselves in terms of like mental mistakes and things along those lines. Taking a look at our defensive stats, Larry Brooks, your leading tackler for San Antonio, 6 solo tackles. Larry Brooks had a fumble or forced fumble and a pass breakup. Ravarius Rivers had 5 solo and 1 assisted for 5.5 and a tackle for a loss. And overall, the Gunslingers had 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, which was David Connor's fumble recovery in the end zone for a safety, and 2 pass breakups. So overall, defense leaves a little bit to be desired. They gave up 54 points. Well, maybe not 54 total because there was a pick 6 in there, but you know what I'm saying. Jacksonville. I'm getting all over the place. Jacksonville, Isaiah Major, 8 solo tackles, 2 assisted for a total of 9. Half a sack, half a tackle for a loss. That'll play. Chris Rice, 5 solo tackles, 3 assisted for a total of 6.5. 1 sack, 4 tackles for a loss. And he did have some nice kickoffs. He did recover his own kickoff, too. So maybe he gets player of the week, special teams and defense. Clay Fields, 3 tackles, 1 assisted, so 3.5, half a tackle for a loss, and 1 interception. And then Rudy Silvera, pick 6, so 1 pass breakup. He did have a tackle and 2 assisted for a total of 2. Overall, Jacksonville, 2 sacks, 5.5 tackles for a loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and then 3 interceptions and 1 pass breakup. So not a bad day for the Jacksonville defense as they still have 1 loss on their record. And San Antonio needs to pick some things up. They're still within the playoff race in the West, though. So let's leave it at that. Let's go take a look at our bet, and we got one more recap to take care of. Duval. Alrighty, we got our final recap to take care of here. Green Bay and Quad City for the final game from our Saturday slate. Let's hop right into it. We got Quad City starting with the ball. DeQuan Neal takes off for a gain. Offsides on Green Bay gives them a first down. Neal gets tackled for a loss. 3rd down check down pass for Jazarick Peterson isn't enough. It brings up 4th and inches. Motion handoff. Jared Ware is stood up in Green Bay. They take over on downs here. Green Bay's first possession, working deep into Quad City territory. 3 plays is all it takes to get there. Liam Thompson keeps for a decent gain. Third down rush is a Quad City tackle for a loss instead. Now Green Bay has a 4th down decision of their own. Going for it, Liam Thompson looks end zone at Trayvon Alexander over the boards. He hangs on to it. It's a beautiful reception. If you haven't seen it, it's the greatest reception. I'm sorry. Either way, he hangs on to it. Going over the boards, he leaps up, high points it, goes over. I think he takes out a kid, too. If you want to look at the replay, kid sitting at a high top table, and he gets completely decked. Either way, I feel bad for him. Dad rushed over really quickly to make sure it worked. Anyway, back to the game action. 7-0 Green Bay. Dakota White, coming back from the break. Dakota White is ejected. Offensive lineman for Green Bay is ejected for spitting, and that's kind of huge for that offensive line there. Now, they do have some depth there. They did dress a different offensive lineman, so it's kind of not necessarily no harm, no foul, but you want your starter in there for a reason. Neal takes it left with no one around. He gains a first down. A couple plays later, 3rd down, Neal to Rudd open, pushed against the boards inside the 5. It's a 1st and goal for the Steamwheelers. Neal is a keeper on a motion RPO. He takes it across the goal line, and we're tied at 7. Nolan Krinsky, new kicker. He hits a deuce. It's 9-7, and that's a lead for Quad City at the end of the 1st. Kyrie Robinson barely makes it out of the goal line or out of the end zone to the goal line. Thompson is sacked for a safety. Keyshawn Moore with the sack. It is 11-7. Quad City starting to get things going here. Until Andrew Mevis hits a deuce, as he's so often and apt to do, especially against Quad City, it seems. He hits a deuce. It's 11-9. Green Bay back within 2. Pass out to the flat, cut inside, takes the rock to midfield. It's a first down. I didn't write down who that was. I want to say it was Jared Ware, but the mystery player will never be revealed. Pitch to the right side. Ware reverses field, has patience, uses Neal as his lead blocker on his way to the end zone. 28-yard rushing score. Quad City, they've got a rushing game suddenly, man. Okay. Cole Stenstrom into the game at quarterback for Green Bay. Thompson hurts, and you would see you'd see later on in the game that he was getting like his knee iced up and bandaged and stuff like that. So Cole Stenstrom would take over for a minute. Kyrie Robinson leaks out of the backfield for a catch, picks up a first down. Blizzard gaining yards, drive stalls out though. Third down rush for Stenstrom doesn't gain much. Offense going for it on 4th and 2. Stenstrom throws to the end zone. Alexander leaps. He has another score. He does stay on the other side of the wall this time. He doesn't go over there or anything like that. But either way, it's 18-16. Blizzard back within 2. Neal tucks and runs for a first as Green Bay only sends 3. Quad City, they're kind of committed to the run in this game. Neal with another rush, followed by a pass to Kean Williams going inside the 5. Ball is out. Green Bay recovers in the end zone for a touchback. Quad City's going to challenge, and they lose the challenge. It looked like a fumble. It was one. Ball just came out right before Williams' arm hit the turf or his knee. Either way, it's a touchback. Out of the 1-minute warning, Stenstrom floats a pass. It's easily picked off by Stephen Adair. Quad City's going to take over at the Green Bay 10. It is 1st and goal already. Third down pass goes incomplete, but offsides on Green Bay will move them half the field or half the distance closer and repeat the down. Ware has a handoff, battles with a defender, keeps his legs working, reaches across the goal line, and he has another score, 25-16. Quad City, with 32 seconds left, they have a 9-point lead. Third down, Green Bay. Stenstrom has time, finds Isaac Ross for a first down in the middle of the field. Trayvon Alexander goes over the wall again for a 1st and goal with 6 seconds to go, so him and his love affair with the wall, man. Mevis out for a field goal for the final play of the half. It is good, 25-19. Quad City takes a 6-point lead in to the break. Out of the second half, Nolan Krinsky starts it with a deuce, 27-19, and it's an 8-point lead as we get things started. Liam Thompson starts the second half for Green Bay at quarterback, so apparently he's done enough to get back into it. Robinson has a rush. Alexander has a catch. Green Bay with another drive working down the field. Keyshawn Moore gets into the backfield. He's got another tackle for a loss with this. Isaac Ross has a catch. He cuts inside of the middle of the field, jukes another defender. It's 3rd and short. Pass goes incomplete. It's now 4th down for Green Bay. Now Stephen Adair is hurt for Quad City, so Malik Duncan will play linebacker. He's promptly called for illegal defense. It's a first down via penalty for the Blizzard. Quad City has been kind of stuffing the run in this game against Green Bay here. They're facing another 4th down. And then Blizzard bring Mevis out. Field goal is good. It's 27-22. Quad City's lead down to 5. And craziness happens. Bar ball off the upright. Blizzard recover it off the bounce, and they take over on offense. So just a bit of bad luck right there. Not a deuce, but maybe something a little bit better because Green Bay does get it. You would like to have those points, though, but you get possession. Third down for the Blizzard after a couple of plays. Thompson rushes inside the 5 to the 1, brings up a 1st and goal. Pitch out to Alexander left side. He has his 3rd touchdown of the night. Green Bay takes the lead now, 29-27. No walls were harmed in the making of that touchdown. Neal picks up a couple, brings up a 3rd and 6. Kean Williams, he saves the day with a first down reception on the Green Bay side. Allen Henry clamps Ware down for a tackle for a loss. Another 3rd down. Neal throws to the end zone. Kean Williams left side catch as he fingertips it and holds on. So whatever finger exercises you've been working, it worked. Quad City goes back out in front, 34-29. Alexander hauls in a first down catch over the middle as we go to the 4th quarter. Duncan with a pass breakup at the goal line. It's a 3rd down now for the Blizzard. Thompson delivers to Sylvere Campbell. It's thrown behind him, though. He cannot hang on. Another end zone pass. Stephen Adair, who's back in the game and has been for a minute, he bats it away, and Quad City has a turnover on downs. More rushing from the Steamwheelers. Neal and Ware moving the chains with their legs. Third down after a couple of plays. Neal at the marker. Run catches for a first. Green Bay challenges a false start. They'll win it. No first down instead. Third down again. And this time, nothing doing. Krinsky comes out for a field goal. Kick is to the left. It goes no good. Blizzard take over. I think this is the field goal that they were arguing that he had made, but I don't think he made it, to be honest with you. Green Bay's offense can't get anything until Drayshawn Hudson brings in a contested pass for a first. Alexander with a catch. Instead, Harrell wrestles it incomplete as they fall to the turf, so now another third down awaiting Green Bay. And then Drayshawn Hudson with another contested catch, and this time it's for 6 points. But Quad City's going to challenge us and say that it was incomplete. I'm not sure why he didn't he didn't maintain possession through the catch, through the end zone, or through the to the turf, whatever. And I think they're trying to claim an interception. Either way, it doesn't work. Reverse pass, Hudson has Thompson for a 2-point conversion. It's a Philly special style. 37-34, Green Bay goes up 3. Kevon Rudd has a catch. The ball pops free. Green Bay looks like they have a fumble recovery, but the refs convene and saying Rudd was pushed up against the Dashers before the ball popped out, so he's down by contact. Neal has a keeper to the left side to the Green Bay 20, picks up a first down and much more. 1 minute warning. Ware inside the 10 with a reception. Jared Ware, rushes down to the 2. Green Bay, using their timeouts here, motion handoff almost botched. Jazarick Peterson and the offense and defensive line pile gets pushed into the end zone. It is a touchdown for the Steamwheelers, and they take the lead 41-37 with 20 seconds left. And then to add it more, Krinsky, another deuce tonight, 43-37. The Steamwheelers lead is 6. Cameron Harrell nearly intercepts a pass, but it gets broken up with 15 seconds. Hudson has a first down catch with 11 seconds. Thompson to the end zone is broken up by Kevin Ransom with 5 seconds remaining. Final play of the game. Thompson, pressured, heaves it. Duncan picks him off. Refs say the game is not over as the crowd going crazy. Players going into the field. Green Bay is challenging an illegal defense. They win the challenge. 1 untimed down left. Thompson loads up one more time. His throw goes into the stands, back of the end zone. And Quad City upsets the Green Bay Blizzard 43-37. All right, let's take a look at the stats as they are presented in front of us. Quad City pulling off the upset and having to have a little bit of a late comeback to do so. Green Bay making a comeback of their own there. You see quarters 2 and 3 getting 22 points, while Quad City, they did get 25 of their own. But at the end of the day, it's Quad City. Couple of deuces. And I mentioned this in their preseason preview. Losing Kyle Kaplan and his ability to hit deuces and go get those free points and extra points and what have you, they've been severely lacking this season. So to have Quad City get a couple of deuces in this one, they get a safety, their defense stands tall, they kind of shut down the rush, all things considered. This is one of the best games that Quad City has played this season. They don't have a lot of wins to show for it, but this might have been the best game they might have played all year. Taking a look at our game leaders on the left side here. Liam Thompson, 9 of 23 passing. So again, it's not just the running game that affected this team. The passing game got affected as well. Cole Stenstrom had to come in for a little bit. Thompson didn't necessarily look himself. His knee looked like it was banged up, or at least his leg. I won't speculate on how severe or not severe the injury is or isn't. He was able to put pressure on it and run and get back into the game, so maybe it wasn't that bad. But either way, it did kind of affect how he played. It looked like 9 of 23 for 109 yards. He didn't throw any interceptions, but 2 touchdowns. It's not a good day for him. And yes, he did not play for a little bit, started in the second half, going from there. And, I don't think he played the second quarter or most of the second quarter. Either way, what can you do? Stenstrom had to be kind of thrown in there, and he played as well as he could. Now, he did throw an interception, but 5 for 10 for him. Kyrie Robinson, 6 carries for 23 yards. You look at the rushing stats on the right side of the screen, only 39 rushing yards total for this team. So again, Thompson's legs kind of taken out of it because of the injury, so having to rely on Kyrie Robinson didn't necessarily work this go-around, and no one else really mattered when it came to that rushing game because Quad City was able to get in the backfield. They were able to disrupt it. They brought pressure in the pass too, so they were able to kind of disrupt things. Drayshawn Hudson, 4 catches, 63 yards, 1 touchdown. Most of those came in the fourth quarter. He had those 2 catches late in the fourth quarter, including the touchdown. So it's like he was kind of a no-show for most of the game, and then suddenly, bam, here's Drayshawn Hudson. So not the best day. They did distribute the ball evenly between him, Alexander, and Ross. Like Alexander with 2 touchdowns. He did have a rushing touchdown as well. So, I mean, yeah. But Hudson able to come through in the clutch to just not enough to get the victory. Daquan Neal for Quad City, 12 of 16, 103 yards, 1 passing touchdown. That'll do, man. When you consider how much this team needed to run the ball, something I've been harping on for a long time, they finally got it done. I know we're talking passing stats here, but when you're able to run the ball, you can be accurate passing it. 12 of 16, that will play. He was able to get it done. Only 1 touchdown, but kept the ball clean, no interceptions, anything like that. So Neal did rush. He's a leading rusher, 72 yards, 12 carries, 1 touchdown. So overall, 175 total yards between rushing and passing for him with 2 touchdowns. That's not bad. That's the Daquan Neal that Quad City needs, especially between now and the rest of the season, if this team wants to somehow find a way to sneak into the playoffs, because right now the playoff hopes are looking dim for him right now. Receiving leader, Keon Williams, 4 catches, 40 yards, 1 touchdown. The running game's looked good. The passing game has kind of suffered. And the passing game, has been looking good. Keon Williams is kind of, I'm not going to say falling off, but he has regressed to the mean. What was a strong start for the guy and everyone going, who can cover this man, has slowly turned into 4 catches for 40 yards. A couple of catches. I think in their last game, he only had 1 or 2 catches. So either teams are starting to put more guys on him, or Neal's starting to look a different direction because he's getting covered. I'm not sure. And again, I'm not going to speculate or anything like that. What I am saying here is that if Keon Williams is going to be bottled up like this, you need someone else to step up. Jared Ware had a very, very good game. 4 catches. He had 54 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. He did really, really well. That's something I have harped on for Quad City this entire season. You need someone other than Daquan Neal or Keon Williams to step up. Jared Ware did it in this game. Can they sustain that? Can this be a 2-game thing, a 3-game thing? I don't know. Team stats on the right side here. Fairly even on 3rd and 4th downs, although Green Bay converted more 4th downs, but 4 for 9 and 5 for 8. Not bad, not good. A little bit better for Quad City, 5 of 8, over 50%. But Green Bay kind of offsets that with their 4th downs. Total yards, fairly even, 20-yard difference. More passing yards for Green Bay, but way more rushing yards for Quad City. We've already talked about the passing a little bit, but rushing, as I mentioned with Quad City, 130 rushing yards to 39 for Green Bay. So, yeah, defense kind of came to play for the Steamwheelers, and they kind of shut down the run. And once they knew Thompson was kind of immobile in that second half, they really started to bring some pressure. And he did use his legs a little bit, but for the most part, he only had 12 rushing yards total on 6 attempts. So they kind of made it work when they had to. Field goals, 2 for 2 for Green Bay and Andrew Mevis to keep him in the game. 0 for 1 for Quad City, but again, those deuces all added up for Nolan Krinsky. So maybe he's your kicker going forward. Who knows? Penalties, I don't remember there being a lot of penalties in this game, so those could be accurate, but again, who's to say? Turnovers, 1 apiece, 1 fumble for Quad City. It's the Keon Williams inside the 5, and then the 1 interception, Stephen Adair picking off Cole Stenstrom. Taking a look at our defensive stats here. For Green Bay, your leading tackler, Frankie West, 7 solo with 3 assisted for a total of 8.5, 1 tackle for a loss. Brian Horn, your next leading tackler, 6 solo, 4 assisted for a total of 8. Overall, Green Bay had 5 tackles for a loss, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. And on the Quad City side, Stephen Adair, 5 solo tackles, 2 assisted for a total of 6. And Keyshawn Moore, same thing, 5 solo, 2 assisted for a total of 6. Adair had 1 interception and 1 pass breakup. Keyshawn Moore had 2 sacks and 3 tackles for a loss. Overall, Quad City had 2 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss, all by Keyshawn Moore. 1 interception and 5 pass breakups. So overall, not a bad day defensively for the Steamwheelers. Not bad either for Green Bay, but in the end, it is the Steamwheelers that prevail, and they give Green Bay their second loss. They are the only team that Green Bay has lost to this entire year. So that's where we have it. Let's go take a look at our bet, and then we'll wrap everything up. We'll get out of here. We were close. We were close. I was hoping for that over, and a little bit more offense in the first quarter, maybe in the second half. I'm not sure, but oh well. Quad City won. And that is it for our recap from our Saturday action of Indoor Football League action. I never know how to close this stuff out, man. I think of this stuff. I don't have a script. I never have a script. So it's all off the dome, baby. But that's where we have it, man. The 4 games that took place here. We still have 2 more to recap for our Sunday slate. Talk about standings. Talk about some playoff implications. Talk about a little surprise that we have on our Sunday reveal and everything like that. And I'll be posting on socials and stuff like that too. Either way, for the most part, a very, very good night of action. 1 game went to overtime. 1 had a nice back and forth affair. And 2 games, 1 a complete clunker. And the other one started off competitive. And then Jacksonville proved why they are now the best in the East. So that's where we have it. A lot of the Eastern Conference teams played in this one, man. I think, 7? 7 of the 8. So, yeah, all 7 of them played. Either way, that's where we have it with this, guys. I'm going to take off here. I love and appreciate every single one of you. If you want to like, comment, share, subscribe, neat. If you don't, neat. And we just kind of go from there. Like I said, we got the Sunday recaps to take care of and go from. And then we are right into it with the Week 14 action. So, all 14 teams, all 7 games for Week 14, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Go from there. But until then, I'll catch you guys in the recap from Sunday. We mosey on into Week 14, and we're inching ever so close to the playoffs. So until then, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.